Meghan, thank you so much for joining us here at SuperReturn Energy North America. It's great to have you in the studio. Just firstly, if I could ask you to kind of characterise what you think the opportunities are in the energy space at the moment.
This feels like the opportunity of a lifetime to be investing in the energy transition towards a cleaner and greener future. So I see two big dynamics happening. On one hand, you're seeing an increase in energy demand. There's electrification, there's AI, and there's this need for scalable and reliable power. And so you have increasing demand on one side, and on the other hand, you have a pullback or maybe a hesitancy from some of the traditional markets, whether that's bank financing or government financing, and we're in this period of uncertainty. And so what that does is it actually creates an opportunity for capital providers to step in, especially private capital providers and direct capital investments. So I see a great opportunity for credit and credit-like solutions to be the bridge between equity and the traditional bank markets.
And with that in mind, I guess private markets have traditionally been good at looking at innovation in spaces as well, and there's lots of innovation in this space.
Yes, there's innovation on two sides, I would say. The first is actually the capital providing side. So you're seeing this flexible capital solution come up where it's credit, but it's also credit-like. You're seeing delayed draw facilities and an ability for these capital providers to really grow with the company so that they can get to size where they can reach the bank markets or high yield. So it's great to see innovation within the capital markets, and then, as you mentioned, innovation among these companies. So energy transition, renewables, it's ripe for innovation. There's a huge need for energy efficiency, and so you're seeing not just these big data centers and the energy infrastructure being built, but also companies that are innovating around it to help build energy leadership that's needed to really meet the increasing demand.
And how is that all being impacted by politics? Obviously we've got a new administration, a different view on climate potentially. What does that do to the energy space, and how flexible and nimble do you need to be as an industry to deal with that?
It definitely takes being nimble. It takes really being the calm in the chaos. So there is a lot of noise. Things are definitely shifting. But one thing is clear is that we are truly in an energy transition. There is this belief of energy for all. There's a belief of energy leadership or energy dominance. And for that, to meet the increasing energy demands, you do need all. You do need the renewables. And so I think it's actually a very exciting time. And I like to look at the long term. So we are in a period of, it feels different than a year ago, but when I look at the long term, I see very similar trends moving in the same direction, and I do believe we are building a cleaner and greener future.
Talking of cleaner, greener future, obviously profit is at the bottom line is what counts, but do you see investors looking more at purpose, and in this space particularly, obviously there's a kind of purpose to where that money's going?
We are seeing a focus on both risk-adjusted returns as well as purpose, and Galvanize specifically is a purpose-built firm. So we are experts at Galvanize Climate Solutions. So we focus on the energy transition, decarbonization, and climate, and I do think in such a specialized industry, you really need experts who know the companies, the investors, and really can serve as that bridge. But I do think investors are focusing, especially if you see a pullback from some of the larger financing, so from the government and others, you see private investors start to focus on the area. So we actually have an impact and a science and technology team that dual underwrites our investments with us. So there's a focus on climate and energy transition, as well as, is this having the impact that we think that it will? And then how do we monitor and report and make sure that we're all moving towards the same mission?
Moving towards the same mission, you're in a room full of people here who have the same mission at SuperReturn Energy. So tell me about that and how useful that is for you to be coming together at an event like this to talk specifically about what you're focused on.
The SuperReturn conference is incredible. It really brings together leaders within the industry, and the conversations you're having both on the panels as well as in the networking events, I feel like it's really about thought leadership. Some of the topics that have been brought up today are how the cost of energy is coming down, and it's really the renewables become a low-cost energy provider. We're also hearing about how can we all help the energy transition move forward and be those capital providers and supporters to serve this energy for all theme.
It's an exciting time to be part of that industry. Just finally, what key message do you hope anyone listening to you speak or being part of the panels here at this event takes away to use for the next, say, 12 to 24 months?
I believe there's a real opportunity to step in and be the bridge between equity and traditional bank financing, and I think credit plays a very vital role within energy and energy transition. You have companies that have hard assets, they have collateral value, and today they're really supported by equity. But there's an opportunity to provide less dilutive or non-dilutive solutions and become that problem-solving capital, and I think that's very exciting, and especially to structure very attractive risk-adjusted returns.
It's great to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for sharing them with us in the studio here.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.